Okay, in this video, we're going to be talking about net income. Now, net income is the money you get after all your taxes are taken from you. So, gross pay is how much money you make before taxes. Then, after you subtract your deductions, whatever you're left with is your net income. Now, where you have seen this, especially if you have a job, is let me show you this right here. This is an example of an earnings statement or what would come with your paycheck. It's a statement of everything that you've earned and everything that was taken away from you. So like for example, notice that our or your this person's gross income was $2,500. Now this column here represents all the deductions that was taken away from his check. So that means the Medicare tax, Social Security tax, federal tax. Apparently this is in California. And then you have another SDI, which I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I'm sure you might, and you're screaming at the computer screen, but I don't know what it is over there. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take all this in for all these numbers, and you're going to subtract it from 2,500 because these are all the deductions. And when you do that, you will get your net pay, which is down here. So he is actually getting a check worth $1,540.81. All right. So in this video, you're actually going to be you're going to be creating one of these earning statements. All right. Now, we're going to start with example number 2. Glenn earns $24,700 a year. All right. Where students screw up the most is they don't pay attention to the very last sentence, the very last word, a week. So $24,700 a year, we have to convert that to a week. So $24,700 divided by 52, 475. So his gross pay is $475. Okay. Now, in the problem, all the information is there. All right, so all we have to do is um, just be organized when we do all this. So it says the FIT, that's the federal income tax, is 12.5%. Now, to make this easier on yourself, what I do is I would put 12.5%. I would put all the percentages down here just so I don't have to keep going back and forth. Social Security, notice that Social Security is going to be deducted, but it's not given the percentage. Well, that's 6.2. That's 6.2% as always. Medicare, once again, is 1.45. Okay. Now, these are all percentages, and I should put the percentage, but I'm writing with my mouse here, so it might be a little challenging for me to do it. The state income tax is 3%, so the state income tax is 3%. The local tax is 1.75%, so I'm just putting 1.75. Remember, I'm just doing this just to be organized here, 1.75%. Now, if you keep going, $14.50 for medical. So there's no percentage there. It's just $14.50. So medical, $14.50. I'm just going to put it right here on this row here. The union dues is $12 per week. So once again, no percentage. I'm just going to write $12 here. Okay. Now, what you're going to do with all these percentages is you're going to take the gross pay and multiply it by each and every one of these percentages because all these percentages are based off of the gross pay. So 475 multiplied by all these percentages. Now, when you multiply by the percentage, make sure that you are moving the decimal point. So like 12.5% would be 0.125. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to get all this stuff thrown in there. If you want to pause the video and to make all the calculations, do so right now. And there you go. There's your calculations. Now we've got to figure out our net pay. So figuring out our net pay, very simply, now that we've done our multiplication problems, we're going to take all of these numbers, and we are going to subtract it from 475. So all those deductions subtracted from 475, and when we do that, our final answer, which means our net pay, is going to be $330.22. All right, pretty easy. Next one. All right, Paul works for Smith's Feed and Seed. He works full time and gets paid $15 an hour. Now we're trying to find his weekly earning statements. Usually, what you need to figure out is at the very last sentence of this particular problem. Full time, remember, full time is 40 hours a week. So 40 hours a week times 15, his gross pay is going to be 600. So $600 a week is what he's making gross. Now keep going. He is married and claims 2 allowances. In this particular problem, that is really just extra information that does not really matter. We'll worry about that stuff when we start talking about taxes. So that is just kind of useless information. His weekly deductions are the federal income tax. There's 4%. So once again, I'm just going to go ahead and just put all my percentages. Social Security is always going to be 6.2%. Medicare is going to be 1.45%. Now, the federal, state, and local does usually changes throughout. Medicare, state tax is 2%, so state tax is 2%. Local is 1%. So those percentages might change, but Medicare and Social Security will not change. All right, it says Paul pays $10 a month for union dues, so union dues is 10 right here. But he pays, here we go, this is where it gets a little challenging with medical. He pays 25% of his annual medical insurance of $6,000. All right, so we're going to have to do a little bit of a multiplication problem here, or figuring out. So his overall health insurance is $6,000. That's how much it costs. He pays 25% of that. So I need to figure out how much he pays. So 6,000 times 25%. He pays 1,500 per year. So this is per year. That's a backslash, by the way. So he pays 1,500 per year. Now, he's paying weekly. So we've got to take 1,500 and then we have to divide that by 52 because you're paying an equal share every single time. So 1,500 divided by 52, that gives me, rounded to the nearest dollar, or I'm sorry, nearest penny, $28.85. Okay. Now, from here, once again, you're at the, how do I figure out federal income, Social Security? Take your gross pay, and now you're going to once again be multiplying all these numbers yet again. Okay. So all these numbers yet again. So 600 times 4% times 6.2%. I'm going to go ahead and speed up and just go ahead and give you all the answers. Okay, I did this very, very quickly, but those are my answers here. So I'm going to now take everything that's on this bottom row. I'm going to subtract it from $600, and I did that to get $473.25 for my net pay. So that's how you find an earnings statement. So once again, if you have questions, let me know the next time you see this. Thank you. Thank you.